I have something amazing to share with you today, and it's free and there's no email required, and it's over 250 pages long. This is a detailed curriculum for teaching children grades K through 12 how to make traditional foods and learn traditional cooking skills that will last them a lifetime. Hi, sweet friends. I'm Mary, and welcome to Mary's Nest, where I teach traditional cooking skills for making nutrient-dense foods, like bone broth, ferment, sourdough, and more. So if you enjoy learning how to be a modern pioneer in the kitchen, consider subscribing to my channel. And don't forget to click on the little notification bell below. That'll let you know every time I upload a new video. I really wanted this curriculum to be top-notch for you. So I worked on developing this with an experienced teacher and curriculum developer named Jamie O'Hara, and she is absolutely wonderful. And the great thing about this curriculum is that this can be used by anyone who's teaching children. You can be a parent who's homeschooling, you can be a parent who maybe wants to work with their children after school or on the weekends. You can use this to teach your grandchildren, your nieces, your nephews. This can even be used by teachers who may want to be implementing a home economics type program. Now, this curriculum, which we're going to talk about in detail in a minute, corresponds with my best-selling new book, The Modern Pioneer Cookbook. I received so many comments and emails from you as to how delighted you were when you got my cookbook and you discovered that it was so much more than a cookbook, that it truly was, as I have shared with you in the past, a manual, a step-by-step manual for creating a traditional foods kitchen. And many of you had asked me if I would be willing to create a curriculum that you could use in conjunction with this book to teach children how to make these traditional foods and learn these lifelong skills that are going to benefit them. If you already have a copy of my cookbook, thank you so much for being on this traditional foods journey with me. If you'd like to get a copy, you should be able to find it on the shelves of all the major book retailers. If you prefer to buy online, I'll definitely have a link in the description and in the pinned comment where you can purchase it. Plus, it is also available for international shipment, so you're not left out if you live outside the United States. Plus, many of the online retailers have my book on sale right now, so it's the perfect time to add it to your wish list or to purchase it as a gift. Now, how this curriculum works in conjunction with my cookbook is that the curriculum uses selected recipes from the cookbook to teach traditional cooking skills. And the nice thing about having me on YouTube is that many of the recipes that are used in this curriculum also have corresponding videos where I teach these traditional cooking skills that you can watch along with whomever you're teaching. Now, this curriculum is divided into chapters that correspond with each chapter in my cookbook, The Modern Pioneer Cookbook. Each chapter contains 3 lesson plans. One lesson plan is appropriate for teaching children grades K through 4, elementary school. The next lesson plan within the chapter is appropriate for teaching middle school, grades 5 through 8. And then the third lesson plan contained within the chapter is appropriate for teaching grades 9 through 12, high school. And for each of the 3 lesson plans, in each chapter, you first have a discussion, then you have an activity, and then you have a recipe. The emphasis for grades K through 4 as you work through this curriculum is on homemade food and creating a no-waste kitchen. The emphasis when teaching grades 5 through 8 is the focus on real whole foods and seasonal eating, the importance of seasonal eating. And for grades 9 through 12, the focus is on maximizing the nutritional value of food, as well as learning how to become self-sufficient and create a self-sufficient kitchen. And within each of these lesson plans, when you work through the discussion and the activity and the recipe, you're going to be addressing a whole host of subjects, including creative writing, science, math, history, geography, culture, the whole host of subjects that are going to be brought to life while creating a traditional foods kitchen. And at the end of each lesson plan, there's additional information for even more learning. For example, in the K through 4 lesson plans, there are often recommendations for books that you can find at the library. They're very common books and they're very easy to find at the library. Things like The Little Red Hen, where she bakes bread, and can be wonderful for children to read when they're learning how to bake bread. And when you head over to my website, marysnest.com, to download this free curriculum, I will also have a list of all the various children's books that are mentioned in here to provide for extracurricular reading. Something I want to share with you about this curriculum is that, and I think many of you know this, that I homeschooled my son through grades 1 through 8. And I would have been so thrilled to have something like this to correspond with some of the cookbooks I used back then to teach him. And so now the fact that I can give this to you to use in conjunction with my cookbook really brings me a lot of joy. And it's kind of my way to say thank you for being on this journey with me. And I will share that many of the skills that I share with you here in this curriculum are skills that I've taught my son. And now that he's a grown man, he has these skills under his belt, and they have created for him the ability to be self-sufficient in the kitchen. And I get so much joy when I talk with him on the phone at night and he says, oh yes, I'm getting ready to cook ABC or XYZ or whatever the case may be. And he'll often in the warmer months have his buddies over, and they live in an apartment complex and there's a swimming pool there. And my son will have various foods that he's prepared for them to enjoy. And they even find themselves being sort of like having their spirits lifted by the fact that my son is cooking and has brought some foods to enjoy. And then they then start to bring foods and are cooking them, and often cooking them together, you know, poolside and having fun. And this just brings a lot of joy to my heart. And I think as you see your children or your students, whomever you're teaching these skills to, as you see them maturing and being able to create these foods and to learn the importance of self-sufficiency and the importance of not wasting food and the importance of maximizing the nutrition of the food that they are eating by properly preparing it, it's going to be such a joy to you. And as they become adults and then go on to teach their children, we can keep these skills alive. That is what is so important. We don't want these skills to be lost. We want that, and that's the whole point why I wrote this book. And that's why I wrote it as, in essence, a manual for creating the traditional foods kitchen, because we want to keep these skills going from one generation to the next so that everyone can know how to cook real food and to properly prepare it for maximum digestion and maximum nutrient absorption. And then at the same time, learn the importance of using every last scrap, just like our ancestors did, and not wasting food, and being able to make meals from often just scraps, and nutritious meals. So I want to thank you so much for being on this journey with me, and how wonderful this will be. This cookbook, along with the Modern Pioneer Cookbook curriculum, what a great gift this will make, especially if you have adult children who have their children now, and you want to help make life easy for them in order to teach their children the skills that I share in the Modern Pioneer Cookbook. It's the perfect combination, and all you need to do is get the cookbook. And in many cases, as I shared with you earlier, it's on sale during this season. And you've got this to download for free. And you can either keep it on a computer, an iPad, your phone, or you can do as I did and print the whole thing out and put it in a binder. What a terrific gift this makes. When I was a homeschool mom, and even when my son was in high school, to have something like this, to be able to teach him, to continue to teach him traditional cooking skills, it would have been such a dream, and it would have made everything very easy. So definitely consider this either on your own wish list or as a gift for somebody else, and add this curriculum to it, and you're all set. So be sure to check the link below and head on over to my website, marysnest.com, and download your free copy of the Modern Pioneer Cookbook Curriculum. Now, while you're over on my website, if you wish, it's not required, but if you wish, you can sign up for my newsletter, because I will be making periodic updates to this curriculum. And if you'd like to be notified about that, you can receive that information in my newsletter. Don't worry, I don't inundate you. I send a newsletter out once a week about traditional foods and about various information that I feel is important to share with you. So if that's something that interests you and you want to be notified about when I make updates to the curriculum, by all means, feel free to sign up for my newsletter. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to pick up a copy of my best-selling book, The Modern Pioneer Cookbook. And I look forward to continuing to be on this traditional foods journey with you. And now, if you'd like more information about making traditional foods, from bone broth to ferments to cultured dairy to sourdough and more, be sure to click on this video over here. And I'll see you over there in my Texas Hill Country kitchen. Love and God bless.